Hello, and welcome back to our playthrough of Trespass Odyssey. I'm Emerging Boat. We're on day 66 of Cycle 3, and we are continuing our adventure with the Eschaton solution, the Story 3B card. Before we set sail on our adventure here, I got some feedback that it would be nice to have a bit more continuity between some of the adventure videos when I'm not always recording between things. So thank you to Sean7081 for that feedback. Right now I'm just going to start by kind of going through some of the scribe tabs here, and I'll talk about what I remember changing since the last video. There were only a couple of voyaging days since the last adventuring video, but I'm going to be working on a better way of capturing this information, because right now I probably won't be covering everything, but this will be able to give you a better idea of how some of the stats changed between videos. And hopefully be able to do a better job of capturing some of the story that I've done while not recording. Because especially in this cycle, I was a little bit better about it in cycle 2. I think in cycle 3 I've been less good about it. So I will be working on that. Expect those changes to be in place for cycle 4 and 5, but I'm going to be experimenting with some things for the remainder of this cycle. We probably only have a few videos left this cycle, but we will see, I guess. Because I don't remember what we have to do for the Story 4 card. But anyway, let me pull up my scribe, because just because you see it doesn't mean I can. There we go. Okay. So I don't think our hull and crew really changed. I think it's still the same. Argo fate fluctuated a lot in the last few game days. I was going up a lot, I think mostly from trying to stop adversary activations as I was exploring around. I ended up losing a lot as well, because we had two fights. We had the Dahaka fight, which I did record. Then we had another fight with the Hypertime Oracle, which I did not record. And actually jumping into that real quick. Well, I'll go in order here. I'm not going to jump around. I think we gained a paradox, I think, during one of our recorded battles. I think some of these other, I lost a frozen time. I don't remember if that was on camera or not. But that was from one of the exploration cards. Let's see, our loop length is still 5, but I'm expecting that to go down soon, because tightening the loop is just a looming exploration card that I'm sure will hit us soon, and I'm surprised it hasn't hit us already. At least when we've had 3 paradox, because we've had 3 or more paradox for a majority of the time. Let's see, I've fluctuated a bit in Titans. I've lost a couple of Titans from... Wait, did I lose some of the Titans from the battles we played? Oh, actually, now I don't remember losing Titans from the battles. I did gain some Titans from the exploration cards, which are always a great source for Titans. Let's see. Our adventures, I haven't had an adventure in a minute. Evolution, we'll just show that table right there. Yeah, the last fight I did against... the last timeline battle I did was also against Hypertime Oracle. I think that was the last recorded video. I'll probably be doing another fight against the Hypertime Oracle, just because I'm trying to do, for our next timeline battle, I'm just trying to get more cores from him. I think I care more about having cores for the Returner than I do the Ascender. But we'll jump into the cores in a second. Take a quick look at our God Forms and summons. Here, I didn't use any of those in the last timeline battle, so we still have a lot of our stuff here. We have a ton of bonus summons. All of these, I don't know how many of these I've gotten on camera, but there's I think it's the Delphian faction card for the exploration deck, that if you're allied with them, you can get bonus summon charges. And so, I mean, it feels crazy to have 5 bonus summons. That's wild. Granted, it's not that powerful, because I tend to lean into using specific nymphs anyway, and the bonus summon charges don't really help with that. But it did make it possible. Actually, no, it didn't even make it possible for, well, kind of. We had a bonus summon charge for the Blade Nymph, so yeah, it at least makes it possible to exceed your summon limit. I do have a technology that I still need to research at some point that allows us to go up to summon limit 3. I just haven't prioritized it, partly because we have so many bonus summon charges. And I actually haven't really, this might actually be my first time going into the deck here. I guess this is, okay, yeah, I don't think you can actually draw cards from the deck. I guess this is more just like for your own tracking purposes. Oh, so they have Obel and they have Grave. They don't have the other ones? Weird. All right, anyway, this is not the time to be exploring because I don't know what we're doing in there. Map tab I don't use. Cargo, let's take a look at that. We've gained some resources from the Hypertime Oracle fight, some mortal resources from exploration cards. I don't remember what's gone up and down. I do know that we gained a Hypertime Oracle core in my last timeline battle that I did not record. I really thought that I was going to be gaining more. I was planning on being able to gain more cores because I brought in 2 weapons with deadly, and I ended up, that was actually one of the fastest fights that I've had so far in the cycle. I finished that fight in the first Titan round from a combination of getting a bonus attack from Truthbearer with the Devolver, then using Time Skip for an extra combat action, and just like wounded a BP2 to start, and then I think only hit another BP2 later on, and the rest of it was BP3. So it was 4 BP3s we wounded, 2 BP2s. I was hoping to be able to get a crit on multiple BP3s, but could only get 1. I also was kind of expecting that we'd have to get an adversary activation because the crit that I got wasn't even on either of my deadly weapons. It was on either Logic Breaker or Truthbearer's Devolver. Let's see. I don't think I crafted any gear in any of the offline or like unrecorded portions. And I think that's probably the most of the good stuff there. I'll just scroll through you can see where the Argonauts stand with their Nemoses real quick. Some fun music. Remember Oda 0, even though he has all these notes filled, I think he's supposed to die at the end of the cycle, is what I remember. And also, I'm saying this out loud more as a reminder for myself. If another Argonaut dies, then he has to die in their place. We do have Echoes of Recollection to be able to prevent Argonaut deaths, but I'm also saying that out loud because I did forget that at one point in the middle of a fight, and then I can't remember how I handled it, but I think it was definitely in one of the recorded battles because I remember talking through that out loud. And he still has 1 node left to get on the superstitious Faded Nemos that he has had forever. I don't know how I haven't gotten more nodes for like Deed, Supernatural Dream. I guess maybe they're a little less common. I don't know. Or it's also possible they're just some of the nodes that I did in my previous playthrough, and so I still have some of those faded events marked in this cycle. Let's see, and then we'll go to our last Argonaut here. I almost said Penelope, RIP. No, it's Heraclides, and he just has that returned Nemos. All right, take a look at our timeline here, and we'll start voyaging. I'm in the middle of day 66 right now because I just came out of that combat fight. It's actually been a number of days since I've actually done any videos, so I apologize if I'm forgetting things that happened in the battle or whatnot. But we are on a city space, so let me see if there's any negotiation technologies that I would like to use right now. Scroll. Let's see, we could gain diplomacy. I'll have to double check our diplomacy, but I think we're still at +10, +10, -10. I'll probably want to make peace with I really should make peace with the, what's it called, Sun Air soon. We have Moirai Operation, lose 1 Titanid Priest to lose 3 Argo Fate. We're only at 1 Argo Fate right now, so we don't need to use that. City Negotiation, gain an Argo Fate to lose 1 Paradox. I'm kind of inclined to do that. Then if I can find another thing to spend an Argo Fate on, so we'd go up to 3 Argo Fate, then I'd be also inclined to do Moirai Operation, because losing I would lose a Titan before I lose an Argo, or before I lose a Priest. Sorry, Titans. But we are on a Twilight Watch space, so we are allied with them. We get a nice bonus to our diplomacy. Or maybe I just... maybe I would say... Okay, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do City Negotiation. We're going to gain an Argo Fate to lose a Paradox. Go down in Paradox. Then I'm just going to do a quick check to see, are there any... let's see. Oh, Aster... Did I do this? Aster gains a Nemos node for a chosen Nemos. I mean, I guess I would assume I did it. No, actually I did not do it because in our last Voyaging video, we did the hero by mistake Nemos node breakthrough for Aster. There's no way I would have put a node on Death Follows and tied it with hero by mistake, so I just forgot to do this in my playthrough, apparently. So we'll mark that, but okay, that is good because now I am inclined to gain a Nemos or an Argo Fate to give this ability to somebody else as well, where we can put their name down on the timeline. And I'm going to do it for Heraclides, because I do think that that piece of gear that I'm looking for, which won't be helpful if we get it outside of the cycle, which is kind of most likely at this point. But I think that piece of gear comes from resolving the returned Nemos, because it did not come from the same thing that we got the returned Nemos from. So 7 days from now, day 73, we'll put down Heraclides. Heraclides gains Nemos node for chosen Nemos. Nemos. Okay. Go back to our Argo tab here. I did not gain an Argo Fate yet, so we're going to do that. And now we're going to lose a Titan. We'll lose our Sky Seer. No, I'm kidding. We're going to lose one of our Dreamwalker Titans here. I am sorry, buddy. But you are helping me immensely, potentially. Oh, we need our dice view here. Then we have to do a diplomacy check. It's normally 7 or higher, but we have +2 to our diplomacy from being on an allied space. So we're going to have to get 5 or higher here. That's a 5. Barely made it, but barely made it still means we made it. I also brought back my green die here because I was just not having as good luck with the white dice. All right, so because we passed that test, we are now going to lose 3 Argo Fate and we're back to 0, and we got some nice things out of it. So, woohoo! Great things out of that city tile. Also, I wanted to double check my diplomacy. Yeah, +10, +10, -10, or in the correct order, it's -10, +10, +10. I don't think I had anything else to resolve for this day. Oh, no, I have a structural research. Ooh, is this where I want to... Do I want to make peace? Let me take a look at some of these. Gain an Argo Fate. I don't really care about that one. Me just like not caring about the Titans. I do care about you, Titans. Just resource-wise, you are really easy to get, and this is a resource management phase of the game. Ooh, sun shielding looks really good. I actually don't know how much I would use that sun save ability, because I'm just expecting that we're gonna, like, our time loop is gonna go down to force. Oh wait, did I also lose my paradox? No, I gained an Argo Fate to do that, didn't I? Double check. Sorry. Negotiation abilities. Yeah, I gained an Argo Fate. I should have lost a paradox, and then yeah, okay, cool. But back to projects. I'm just expecting that, like, we are going to go down to... I'm amazed that our time loop length is still 5 days. I'm expecting to go down to the 4 days, and even though we have a lot of frozen time, I just have memories of frozen time becoming like a valuable resource. Maybe I'm stockpiling it too much, but I'm doing okay on Argo hull and crew. Oh, I haven't shuffled these back in, and I think I have Chekhov's Sun in here. Yeah, this is the... Okay, yeah, this is the one where you can end up flipping an Argonaut's abilities. Or losing a crew or hull. Okay. I'm considering taking this one, but I'm also considering prioritizing the making peace. Stasis theory. I don't know. I don't really like stasis theory. Delphian people support, gain 1 Argo fate, gain 1 progress. I don't really care about gaining progress right now. Wait, do I not have intelligence gathering? What? No, I definitely have at least that. Requirements, intelligence gathering. I feel like I can almost guarantee you that I have intelligence gathering. Okay, yep. Also, I don't know if you just heard my stomach growl. I apologize if you did. A little hungry this morning. I'll get some food later. So I don't know what's going on with this one, but I meet all the requirements to be able to do this one. Chronopolitics, lasting peace. Yeah, this is the one that I think I'm really going to get. Out of town completion, lose one priest to make. Yeah, if I get the fracture affliction, this becomes a huge priority, but not a priority yet. Awakening studies, I'm pretty sure I remember what that is. Also not really a huge priority to me right now. Let's gain this because we are at +10. Like we're basically at a point where faction modifiers, the only faction modifiers that can really affect us now are minus diplomacy to either Twilight Watch or Delphians, and that kind of sucks. So let's do this. So we're kind of resetting things here. Immediate. Choose one faction you are at war with and immediately set your diplomacy score with them to, I thought it was 0 at first. I was like, no way, that's crazy. -6 is still pretty good. Stability ignores the normal restrictions of the at-war diplomacy threshold. So we will lose a Titan, we'll gain a Doom. I guess I could save against that Doom too. Let's lose another Titan. I guess as a peace offering. And gain a Doom. At this point, I should be trying to save against almost all Doom gain that I can because we are on the final Doom card. We need a 6 or higher to save against this. 5. Yeah, let's roll it again. Let's gain an Argo Fate, because if I need to, I could always lose a crew to gain Argo Fate, or lose Argo Fate. All right, come on, 6 or higher. Nice. All right, we got what we needed. It's terrible to come out of that spending like 2 Argo Fate and not saving against the thing. But all right, so we don't gain Doom there. And we are going to, let me go to faction first. We're going to set our diplomacy score to -6. Awesome, so we're denounced, and if we gain two diplomacy with them, then we're back to just unfriendly, which would be awesome. All right, let's go. Where the heck am I going here? Technology. I need to actually gain that technology. Chronopolitics. Oh. Okay, let me fix this really quickly. I should have gained this technology first. Back to at war. Technology. Did that change it for me? No. Okay. I think that will actually end everything that we wanted to do today. So with that, we can move on to day 67. Go ahead and check that off. But then we're out to move on our map. And this is where I'm at a bit of an impasse because I don't know what I should do. My loop, oh, sorry, meant to go to this view, but my loop is going to be ending in, oh wait, today is the loop end day. Does that make sense? Oh, also, I did go through this time wound over here. When you go through the time wound, you have to go through this special tile here. So our movement basically looked like 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. Oh no, okay, this makes sense. 2, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, because now we're going on to our 5th movement since the last time end, loop end, so that would make sense that we have another loop end coming up. Which actually means before we go into this day, oh no, I'm only at 2 paradox, so I'm not at risk of losing a, because we're at a point right now where if we reach the loop end and we have to resolve it that way, then like if we're forced to resolve the loop end at the end step, we lose the game. So we need to be very careful about like trying to have some leeway where we're not going to draw, what's it called, tightening the loop, the exploration card that can cause you to shorten your loop. We don't want to draw that and cause our loop end to come too early. Although I guess even in that case, we'd still resolve the thing at the loop end step. So I don't know, never mind. I think my instinct was wrong there. Oh, and this is kind of hidden in the glare. Yeah, from this tile, we can go either west to tile 70, which is a Sun Airs tile, and we can go south to 72, which is a Delphians tile. But we need to find a time anchor or a lighthouse so that we can actually put our time anchor down somewhere new and resolve our loop end, or really use the chrono sail to save ourselves. And yeah, but I don't know which way to go. I'm thinking that it's probably that like this is the space where there's going to be a lighthouse, and so it shouldn't matter if we go either direction. But like I hate not knowing, and we're at a point right now where we're going to need to be using frozen time. This is where I was kind of talking about like frozen time can become a valuable resource, and if you don't have enough of it, it can really really screw you. And I also don't have my what is it called, my trireme, my scout Humiolio. I don't have my scout ship to be able to look ahead to see like, okay, can I see which direction to go from here? So I'm just going to base this decision on the fact that people over here don't like me, people down here do like me. Let's go down here. Let's go back to this, and let me find that tile 72, Delphians. Okay, we do have light from a lighthouse, but we can't go west. So, okay, so the lighthouse is not where I thought it would be. We have a portal there that we probably won't be using. We do have an adventure hub. That is fun, but nothing else really exciting. Let's take that, let's put it on our map, and then let's go south as we travel to that tile. And I can't get it. There we go. Facing the wrong way. Let me also push this a little bit up. It'll give us some flexibility to put our map around without running into those glare spots that my light sometimes cast. Then we need to shuffle these back in. Oh boy, fun times. Let's go ahead and scatter. I almost said shatter. Scatter these around in our deck here. I haven't given these like a thorough shuffle in a while, so let's do a little bit of mashing around. Then we're going to split them up, shuffle them that way. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and just kind of put them in piles randomly here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. And we'll mix them up again. I always like to do that kind of shuffling every once in a while, just because I'm like, I feel like it resets any of like the shuffling technique that I do. Do a little bit of split, and then do a little bit more mashing. I feel like the dice gods are more on my side when I do a good job of shuffling, because when I don't do a good job of shuffling, I think the dice gods get upset with me. Let's see how the exploration card gods feel about me today. 6 Hyperborean alloy resources. All right, gain that. Then that effect is denounced or worse, and good thing we went to the friendly/allied tile. Next pile. 5 Siren Shell resources. All right, I am glad I went south and not west. 5, Siren Shell. And we can ignore that adversary activation symbol because it's only one. Just take these and just shuffle them around in here. Gosh. Ah, I saw a Cackle. Get out of here, Cackle. Of course, now it's probably gonna end up on top. It's like, you know where I am. You can't hide from me. I can't hide from you. Nobody can hide from each other. We're just constantly finding each other. I don't want to face a Dahaka again anytime soon. Now that he's unshackled. Okay, let's see. What other fun things do we have? Oh, we have our adventure, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. I think we're close to resolving the adventure hub soon, right? Yeah, Wax and Promises. So let me roll the die and then we'll see what we get. 8, I think, is not going to be of Wax and Promises. That'll probably be Coming of Age. Pull up our table here. 8 is actually Sin of the Fathers. But I'm going to use our ability. Let me double check the ability text on that. I think we can choose the adventure hub below the one that we rolled, which would be nice here. Don't remember the name of that, but I think you can find it just by scanning through pretty quickly. Why didn't I pause? Here we go. After you roll on the adventure hubs table, you may choose to resolve an adventure from the hub you rolled or the one in the row directly below. Okay. Yes. So we will do Coming of Age instead. We're going to have to do Lies of the Labyrinth or Lie of the Labyrinth because that's the only one we have unchecked. Family will not get me a node on that damn superstitious Fated Nemos. Nothing for Aster. Anything for Cersegard? Yes. Ooh, she's one node away from retiring / whatever we do with her on Mesalliance. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. Go to voiceovers here. Where are we at? Adventure hubs. Coming of Age. Wait, what? What was the name of it? I assume it was Lie of the Labyrinth. Oh, yeah, because I thought it was Lies. Yeah, okay.
Everything is wrong. The tiny confines of the ship's hold are unbearably cramped, the air thick and muggy with the sweat of dozens of captives. You do not know where you are bound for, having been snatched in the middle of the night by soldiers claiming that you had been selected by King Minos for a grand purpose. Your stomachs churn at the anxious thoughts of what that purpose might be. As the ship lurches to the side in an unexpected crosswind, another prisoner, an Athenian by the name of Miltiades, leaps to his feet, his manacles broken open, or perhaps the lock was picked. He encourages his fellow captives to take up arms against the soldiers on the ship, whom he calls the stewards of the labyrinth. "Sinoikismos!" he yells. With your help, the captives swiftly claim the slaver trireme.
Hey, it's Miltiades. Good to see you again, buddy. Option 1. Your vessel may be free, but you still don't know what the purpose of the convoy is, what your captors intended for you. If you remain hidden among the convoy, a viper in the fold, for a little longer, you might just find out there's a lot of commas in there. Remain in the convoy for now and see where they're taking the prisoners. Sun Air Diplomacy -1, gain 2 Argo Fate. Ew. Option 2. With a ship at your command, you can go after the one who sent you here, the man who condemned you, King Minos himself. Turn the ship about and make for Knossos. Delphians Diplomacy +1, gain a Doom. Option 1 feels like the smarter thing to do. Option 2 just kind of feels a little stupid to be like, all right, we're just gonna go after King Minos. Like, okay, yeah, you have one ship. Good luck with that. But option 1 feels like the much smarter move. Like, we're in a convoy of ships. We're just gonna take one, and the rest of the slaver ships are gonna be like, oh, it's fine. All right, I'm gonna go. Option 1 penalties are worse, but I'm gonna go with that one. Maybe that means the coming reward will be better, but that is definitely not guaranteed. And we're also just continuing to piss off the Sun Heirs that we just made peace with. All right. I also just don't like being at 4 Argo Fate after getting out of multiple battles. See paragraph 25.
You follow the rest of the convoy, 14 steward triremes in total, and disembark in the harbor of a hauntingly empty polis. Strange geometric patterns crawl across walls and streets, the buildings themselves contorting into shapes that make your eyes ache. In minutes, you have gone too deeply into this maze-like madness and would have no hope of finding your way out.
Party leader gains the fear condition card. Who should be party leader? Let's roll for it. Let's just see who gets it randomly. We'll say, since it's about to be gaining a negative thing, we'll say lowest roll is the party leader. Shortest straw. I was about to say it was Otis 0, but it is Cersegard. Congratulations, Cersegard. You are our fearful party leader. There we go. Fear card. Boom. Assigned. And moving on.
At last, you see your destination, a gargantuan maw in the heart of the polis, sprouting from the ground like a tumor, the Temenos, but so much larger than the one you faced on Crete. Before you, a group of prisoners is cast into the opening, their screams echoing on and on. Just how deep is the pit of this monstrosity's gullet? You look for an escape, and a subtle motion catches your eye. A hunched woman in a gray cloak that almost makes her impossible to see. You recognize her immediately, the old spinner. Your eyes meet and she gestures for you to follow her. As you walk, she produces a talisman, something like a spindle of silver thread that gleams oddly. She continually consults it, making adjustments until she leads you out of this maze. You are shocked to find yourselves on the outskirts of Knossos. Looking back, you see no sign of the creeping patterns of the maze. How could you have come so far in such a short time?
The labyrinth wraps Crete in a web of despair, but a web is traversable nonetheless.
The old spinner states.
Minos is the one who feeds it. He must be stopped. Akacalis, the would-be daughter of Minos, or Pirithous, the fist of his royal guard, may be able to help you.
Before you can ask her anything further, she turns and leaves. You try to follow her, but there is no trace of her passing. Just a dead end where you could have sworn there was an open streetway before.
Right, 2 options here. Option 1, the king has lost his damn mind, sacrificing people to the Temenos. He must be stopped or removed from power. You knew Pirithous from before, where he was a staunch follower of Theseus, the last righteous man of Crete. He is your best bet. Find a way to speak with Pirithous, gain a crew. You have a troubled relationship with Akacalis, but if she truly cares for her people, she should know about the atrocities of her father. She would then be able to help you. Find a way to speak with Akacalis, gain a progress token. I mean, I feel like I'm in very good standing with Akacalis now. I feel like in the past, though, Pirithous seems like he'd be a better bet. Also, if I'm just metagaming it, I would much rather have a crew right now than a progress token. That's more valuable to me. So I'm going to go with option 1. We're going to gain a crew. Also, I don't think I showed the diplomacy gain from, or diplomacy loss from before. Excuse me. But we're now at -7 with the sun airs. So then we're going to go and see paragraph 27.
You are surprised to find no guards posted at the harbor or on the streets. No walls surrounding the palace. It's as if King Minos doesn't fear any opposition. You manage to track Pirithous down in the guard barracks in the shadow of the palace of Knossos.
You were the right hand of Theseus,
You begin.
and in the world we saw a kind and just man. We come to you with an urgent plea.
He listens to your tale with wary suspicion, his features darkening as he learns of the strange steward's convoy, its unknown destination, everything. His eyes glimmer with rage at hearing how his soldiers are being used in such a scheme, and, trembling with rage, he promises to aid you in getting to the palace to determine the truth of the matter.
I apologize for my my throat clearing at the beginning of the story. I have an audio filter set up so that, like, when the iPad volume level gets to a certain point, it will cut off my microphone so I don't like accidentally have background noise spilling over. I think I coughed a little bit too early, or cleared my throat a little bit too early there. So, adding my own flavor to the story.
You approach the palace, your Cretan guide leading the way. Just as your path would have taken you to the throne room, they pull you aside, gesturing urgently for you to be silent. The heavy golden doors groan open, a cadre of strange figures emerging, their faces pocked with a circular maze pattern, their robes covered in strange geometric shapes that spread from cloth to flesh and floor seamlessly.
The king's advisors.
Your guide mutters.
They claim to be priests of Poseidon, but I have never seen an Olympian priest behave as they do, spreading prophecies of despair wherever they walk.
You know who they are.
Labyrinthians, a wretched cult of primordial oblivion. This is much worse than what happened in our world.
What do you mean?
They ask, but the party leader just shakes their head.
I'm trying to understand. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, the timeline's different, and the Labyrinthians have gotten a stronger foothold here. Two options. Option one, the presence of the Labyrinthians explains much. You cannot allow the cult of nihilism to spread. You can pursue them, find out what they are planning, and cut those plans short. Follow the black-clad Labyrinthians. Delphians diplomacy +1. Option 2. Minos was, is, and always will be the tyrant. He ordered the slave fleet. He put up the primordial statues. He is culpable, and you need to find out why. Confront the king. Well, gaining diplomacy with the Delphians does nothing. Let's go confront the king. Let's see what that's about.
Waiting until the strange priests disappear, you move toward the golden doors and proceed. There, old King Minos sits atop his throne, his face relaxed, but his eyes cold. Around him are numerous members of his court, including his children.
There is no world you won't pay for this intrusion with suffering.
You murderer!
The party leader says, and accuses Minos of being involved in the convoys, the sacrifices, and the Labyrinthians. The silence that follows is abruptly broken by Minos's sharp laughter.
The fools remain fools still. I know who you are, though I thought you wiped off the face of Hellas long ago.
The smile is forced.
You may not like to hear it, but I do what I must to protect Crete.
There were 14 triremes in that convoy.
You yell.
14! How many more have gone before us?
Too many to count,
Minos sneers.
and there will be countless more, as many as are needed to satisfy the hunger of Poseidon's great siren.
Temenos.
Only commoners call it that, satiated. It slumbers, and when it slumbers, it does not destroy the island. Have you seen how peaceful Knossos is? Have you seen the hellscape Hellas has become beyond our borders? The Black Seas? If we don't bow to the gods and try to appease their anger, no mortal shall survive this cataclysm.
You look to the other faces in the court, seeing some locked in expressions of horror, but others are more weary, defeated. Some already knew, and they did nothing, their consciences suppressed by despair. But you are not so hobbled.
You've seen the priests of Poseidon leaving this room, yes?
Minos says.
They're on their way to consecrate the city of the bull for the great siren. What will it be then?
Ooh, alright. Don't want to push me, King Minos. 3 options here. Option 1. The king's orders are what feeds this madness. Willing sacrifices to the primordials. Cut off the head and the body will soon follow. Kill King Minos. Option 2. Another atrocity is about to happen, but you can stop it. You may not get another chance at the Mad King, but this is not about him or about killing. This is about saving lives. Yeah, but if you go stop, I don't like this option at all. If we go stop the priest this one time, okay, they're gonna do it again. Cue the Goofy Moon meme. I'll fucking do it again. Option 3. Only if B5 is marked and you finished, or you finished the Dreamslate Bear Hub in cycle 1. Is B5 marked? I'm pretty sure I finished Dreamslate Bear, but B5 is not marked. How do I check that without? I can do this. Okay, cool. Dreamslate Bear. Oh, am I going to see it in here? These are just the ones that would have the faded boxes next to them. Oh, I know. I think that's the only way I can really do it. I'm going to save. I had to cut out a bit of the video there because I was going to save a backup of the Scribe app so I could go and check the Dreamslate Bear Hub to see if the end point was considered marked. Because I don't think I can do it within the app. And I accidentally showed some personal information, so I had to cut that out. But let me jump back over to this. I did check that successfully, and we did complete the Dreamslate Bear Hub. So go to this side. We do have option 3 unlocked here. You remember the confrontation you had in this chamber all those years ago. There is a way out. Something you know that could turn the tide here. You need only speak it. Let's do this option. Tell the daughters of Minos about the secret fate. Delphian's diplomacy +1. That's not going to do anything for us, but this seems like the most interesting option. Because we could kill Minos, and I don't really feel as bad about it right now with how he's talking. But here's C34.
Like day breaking over the horizon, a memory from another life comes back to you.
Theseus is alive!
Gasps rise from the Cretan court at your words. Most notably from the women behind the king, the daughters of Minos. Among them, the one named Phaedra appears most perturbed.
What? Theseus lives. He wanders Crete as the one they call the Punished, for he carries the weight of guilt for Ariadne's death.
Your eyes turn to Minos. It seems that the will of the gods is not so ironclad as you would have us believe, my lord. They can be defied, and so can you. At your words, you see a number of the court rising to their feet. Hurried whispers exchanged. So, they know of the punished already. Maybe just now connecting the facts. Minos glances about with a growing nervousness, then looks back to you, venom glimmering in his eyes. But before he can speak, he gasps, clutching at his abruptly open throat. He keels over and dies in an instant, Phaedra standing over his body.
This will change little in the grand scheme of things,
she says with sadness.
Poseidon's siren will consume this island, and punishment of the gods will find us, like it did elsewhere.
Then a gleam in her eyes.
But it felt right, and damned good too.
Damn, Phaedra. Nice. You want to become an Argonaut? Okay, we're going to gain a progress token here to 6. And C35.
Abrupt darkness. What was that? A vision? A false memory or a glimpse of the future? Though the world you saw does not exist, the ripples of your choices bleed through. Delphi is madness.
All right, return to the voyage phase. That'll end that adventure. Let's see what we got here coming up on our timeline. We got combat research, we got maze walker breeding, we got Lupin. Let's do the maze walker really quickly. The group 2 titans, add new titan, maze walker. Oh, it should be maze runner. They run the maze, they don't walk in it. I don't know why I put maze walker. And I think that means we have all of our cycle 1 titans, Earthshaker, Logic Breaker, Maze Runner. Cool. Then we know we're going to need to extend the loop end by 1. So let's lose a frozen time to push out loop end. Well, I should say by at least 1. Cut that. Here. Loop end. Then we have a combat research to do. Technology, projects, combat. I'm less keen on getting the Helios Light Fanatic or Fanatic Light weapons now that we have Theogonius. I don't know that any of the, like, this is a great card. If you can get this early, this is phenomenal. I don't remember if any of the weapons on there are going to outclass the Devolver, though, or any of the other weapons that we have. Time Dilation would be great. That's kind of the counterpart to Time Skip, where you can get an extra movement action. Sun Descendant Partial Autopsy. We could get Pauldrons. Although, again, I don't think those armor... we get the Horse Skull Pauldron and the Enigma Transformation. I don't think... We already have one of the Enigma Transformations from a crit. And I don't think the Horse Skull Pauldron is going to outclass the armor that we already have. Do I just want to make this about, like, trying to get... Like, what would I unlock? Sun Descendant Live Study... And then how do I unlock Sun Descendant Live Study? We would need the Partial Autopsy, of course, and we would need Hypertime Oracle Live Study. I think in order to get Hypertime Oracle Live Study, yeah, we need Time Dilation. Let's just take Time Dilation. I don't know that I'll end up using this. It is a good Nemos, or not Nemos, a good Argo ability. But Time Skip is better. And I already have other Titans. I have Titans that have semi-sync on them, so they can get an extra movement at the cost of gaining a fatigue, but I don't know that I want to, I don't know that the utility I can get from some of these other Argo abilities is going to be worth swapping in time dilation. And I think that's going to end everything that we have for today. So what, on our map tiles, it's going to leave us going east to tile 75 on the next day. So let's go ahead and check off our next day. Hopefully this is a, what's it called? Lighthouse tile. Still Delphians at least. That is a lighthouse tile. We have an R&R adventure. I think this R&R adventure will mean I'm resetting my faded boxes for the R&Rs, so should be able to get any of them now. Not a whole lot else going on in this, but yeah, I'm very thankful that this is a lighthouse tile. Map. And I wonder if maybe if we had gone this way, maybe there's another lighthouse over there. I don't know, we'll see. We may end up having to backtrack at this point too, because of technically we have to find the map tile or the ship piece that matches, I guess I should go here, the ship piece that matches the ship piece that we already found. So who knows, but we'll put the Ariadne's anchor here, and we actually need to put that there. We'll go to our exploration cards. Hyperborean Temple of Cronus. I said Delphian, right? Yeah, we're on a Delphian tile still. So 5 Siren Shell. We are not denounced. Is this one of the cards that I drew last time? Probably. 5 Siren Shell. All right, come on, do not be another adversary activation. Okay, Nubian traders. I mean, maybe it'd be smart to trade some of my Hypertime Oracle things for like Razor Claw and stuff. I don't, well, whatever. All right, let's just maybe gain like, let's lose 20 of these. Yeah, sure. 2, 3, 4. We lost 20. We'll gain 5 of these in its place. I don't know. I don't really have anything in mind that I'm like trying to craft right now. So the traders aren't really that valuable. Actually, let me flip that way. All right, then we have to continue that pile. Tightening the loop. All right, at least we're still at 2 paradox here for this. This ability did not trigger, gain 1 paradox and remove this card until the next timeline battle. Cool. All right, we continue putting off the loop tightening. I love that. But we also spawn our adversary. Damn. Gain 3 Siren Shell resources. And then you may gain 3 Argo Fate to gain a priest. I would like to do this again, but I don't think I can go up to 7 Argo Fate. That's too much. But I do like hoarding the priests for later cycles. If I knew I had a city tile or something like that coming up, I would probably do this and then just use like the, what is it, the Sweets Nymph to reset Argo Fate. But I don't know when we're going to see the next city because we just kind of recently saw one. All right, so I will have to spawn the adversary in a second here. Let's go and mix these in. Oh, it's upside down. Go ahead and cut the deck, shuffle a couple more times. All right, let's put that like that. Go to, no, I keep doing this. I want this one. We need to spawn the adversary, so it's got to be 4 spaces away. So 1, 2, then I think over here would be 3, right? So you'd go 1, 2, 3, so we could go here. I assume, I mean, I think adversary, like he treats those portals as connected spaces, so I think this is fair to place them this far away. Oh, it's kind of hard to see. Let's put him, if we put him in the corner, is that a little bit easier? Or actually, maybe if we put him face down like that? Should I have been doing that this whole time? That's a little bit easier to see. Okay. I did see we had some events coming up here. We have returner training. Oh yeah, what did I want to put on the returner? I don't remember. Maybe harsh conditioning? Okay, let's see. I have, including the things that I have assigned to my Titans, I have what? Hypertime conditioning, umbral strain. Then I have my little section of set aside cards that I have that are generally assigned. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 cards that I have in my quote unquote assigned pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so one of these, I think I put one in here that I was expecting to reassign to the returner when this came around. Oh, scorch conditioning, maybe. Do I want to put scorch conditioning on the returner? Sure. Yeah, why not? I think that's what I had assigned before. Returner. Trauma pattern. Scorch conditioning. Back to our timeline, 10,000 nights and days. I'm not going to read that on here, as I have mentioned before, but I am going to check off a box for it just to say that we got another one unlocked. Wow. Holy crap. 3, 7 of them? Damn. That's it's gonna make cycle 4 interesting. Need to think about how I play that in cycle 4. All right, and then loop end would happen. Oh, but we need to use, what is that technology? Chronosail to gain 1 Argo Fate. Immediately resolve the loop end. Which means, oh, let me go back. We're going to have to gain an unavoidable doom. And we will get to put our loop end on day 73. Loop end. And while we're here, I'm going to use, I forget the name of that technology, but what's the one where you can, extinction contingency. We're going to lose a crew, so we can lose 2 Argo Fate. Do that. Oh, wait, I guess actually before, well, let's see if the R&R adventure would actually affect us. I totally forgot about the R&R adventure. All right, so we're gonna be resetting these because we've done them all already. And we'll just roll our die here. See which adventure we're doing. Number 3. It's gonna be Zeno's Scheme. R&R.
You have been approached to help deal with a peculiar problem. It seems a small group of the Argo's crew have engaged in petty theft, stealing small sums of pre-Eschaton coins, as well as Hephaestum slivers and other valuables. These have been mainly used in inter-Argo trade between decks and teams, as well as with a growing non-crew population. The problem is, they have been stealing from themselves, though through some unmapped rift in time that must have opened aboard the Argo. The grift goes like this. The perpetrators travel through time to the future and steal the valuables from themselves. Then they travel again to a slightly earlier time period and steal the same amount, so exactly half of what they then have. Then they repeat the process, stealing increasingly large amounts. In the meantime, they spend the money that they don't have on things their broke future will inherit.
The problem is, this is fraudulent.
A woman who says she was robbed by her past self repeatedly claims,
I've been robbed many times, and I don't even want the things my previous self bought. Have you tried going back after yourself and taking it back?
asks Palamedes, positively fascinated by the whole thing.
The problem is
A distraught man interjects,
that this causes inflation. There's too much money going around and not enough goods.
Have you tried stealing goods from the future?
asks Socratoares sarcastically.
The problem is that it doesn't make any sense.
The old priest yells,
How does it even work? You should remember how you robbed yourself and just not let it happen. I thought about it,
says the first woman.
but I remembered the first time I tried. I beat myself pretty easily. I was desperate back then. What is happening?
The party leader cries in helplessness.
They must have had a ton of fun writing these. So silly. All right, 3 options here. Option 1. Temporal theft is still theft. Confiscate it all. You confiscate all the spoils from the time pyramid scheme, and put them to better use. Gain 6 Siren Shell of 4 Hyperborean alloy or 2 Daedalus Machina resources. Yeah, no, we have plenty. Option 2. This is clearly the root of all the world's inflation. You've solved it. Now you just need to return to barter economy. That will work well. You may immediately perform resource trading as if you were using the Ultimate Trading Solutions technology card for free 4 times. This is Zeno's paradox, and thus impossible. You don't have to do anything, because it's not possible. You cover your ears and try to ignore the situation. Lose 1 paradox. I'm going to take that option, because I don't mind the paradox reduction there. That's funny. Alright. Zeno's paradox, thank you for reducing our paradox count there. Now that ends our R&R adventure, and now that also ends our advancement step, because I don't have anything else I want to do in the advancement step. And thus we will go to our next day, day 69. Nice. And let's see, we're going to go south here, so I'm going to need another one of my little holders. Put that there. And we need tile 74, which is going to be a Delphian tile. Where the heck are you? There you are. Boo! Gaining a doom. And there's nothing else fun on this tile. This sucks. Alright. Go down there. Gaining a doom. What we're at. How much doom are we at right now? 2. Yeah, let's try to avoid it. We have ways that we can reduce Argo fate. We don't have ways we can reduce doom. So 6 or higher. 10. Nice. Don't gain that doom. Now we can just go straight to our exploration cards. Gain 1 Titan. Woo. A new Titan. Okay, and then we get to gain a rage. And let's do it randomly again. Let's say highest roll gets the rage. Wow, those are all very low rolls, but Aster is going to get the rage here. Okay. Continue that stack. Adversary activation, gain 3 Siren Shell resources. Okay. Apparently I'm doing a bad job shuffling again. And an adversary activation. Boom. We're also going to have to start using some of our Argo Fate for reducing those adversary activations. New pile. Delphian Fleet. It's going to be another, what's it called? Another bonus summoning charge. Hell yeah. Guided forms and summons, bonus summons. Okay, that comes out until the next timeline battle. Continue that pile. Another adversary activation, 4 Siren Shell resources. I want to use an Argo Fate here. Let's not. Maybe what we can do is, assuming we have to end up, what's it called? Like, this feels like it's just going to be, I think a lot of the future stuff is like just long stretches of things as opposed to like looping around. So if we end up having to like loop back to Ariadne's Anchor here, maybe we want to be in a position where like we kind of get the Dahaka to be following us more closely, so that way when we loop back, we're further away from him. Maybe that's a way we can stay away from him. Yeah, maybe we'll just wait until we have some more of the map tile explored. I just want to keep him a decent enough distance away, because if we end up having to get adversary activations during battle, which we are more likely to get those because of some of the weapons that I'm using and the Titans that I have, then I can't reduce those activations, so I want to make sure I'm not going to end up having to get a fight with him because of in-battle adversary activations. Okay, those are all shuffled now. Got some dog hairs here. I brushed my dog this morning, so of course I have so much hair on me that I tried to lint roll off, but didn't get all of it. There's our timeline say, oh, there's nothing today. All right, well, that's easy. Let's just move on to the next day then. We'll go to day 70. And we will continue traveling east here to tile 78. Which looks like it'll still be a Delphian tile. Oh, it's weird that we have like a bunch of opening. I guess maybe there's just no land up in that northeast direction of the tile. But we can't go northeast. We can only go south. Okay, at least there's an adventure hub on here. That's cool. That's the only thing that's happening there. That way. Then we need to do our exploration cards. 4 Hyperborean alloy resources and lose an Argo Fate. I love that. Okay. 4 and lose an Argo Fate. Okay, and start the next pile. Then we get 5 Siren Shell and 1 Daedalus Machina. All right. And that's it. Cool. Simple. Then we're going to end up doing our adventure hub here. So let me roll that. Go ahead and do a cut. Let's cut here. There we go. Do a roll adventure for. Let's go to our thing here. Ooh, is that going to be a Wax and Promises? Maybe. Can we do an Omega? Wax and Promises would be 3 to 4. Yeah, story card 3, 3 to 4. Nice. All right, let's do an Omega. Concede to Shadow. Tragedy. Still no Nemos node for that Fated Nemos. Damn you, Fated Nemos. Tragedy. Nothing for Aster. Tragedy is something for Cersegard, but not her main one. Nothing for Oda Zero. Nothing for Heraclides. All right. Go to voiceover, adventure hubs, Wax and Promises, Concede to Shadow.
As the cold wind blows, Pieces of the ruins appear in the distance. Fragments of white stone at first, scattered haphazardly on the icy ground. Then walls and archways, until finally you can see one side of the edifice. Only giants could have built such a structure.
It looks better than I thought it would,
Alcibiades remarks. You nod as you observe your surroundings. The fastest way would be to sail the Argo directly up to the entrance, as the building now leans precariously over the bay, but you would be in the open shallows for a prolonged period of time. There's no knowing who or what could be watching. A stretch of icy land on the right side of the ruins catches your attention. Your crew could cross there, but it would take longer. The ice is slippery and the cold unforgiving.
Two options. Is my microphone? Yeah, okay, my microphone's working. Two options. Option one. It is a risk to anchor the Argo in the open for so long, and yet it's preferable alternative to losing crew members in this long trek in the cold. You have seen the damage this weather can do to a mortal body. Better avoid the risk and stay sheltered for as long as you can. Option two. If you don't know who is watching right now, and the Argo can hardly be given its sight. Well, I feel like I've just gotten so much worse at reading when I'm not like reading full paragraphs at a time. Let me restart option two. You don't know who is watching right now, and the Argo can barely be hidden given its size. You would attract less attention going on foot, but the path is risky. How many of you will make it? Okay, well, option two pretty clearly sounds like it would be losing crew. I mean, both of these are just going to be kind of a wash with diplomacy. The first one, maybe Argo fate, is what we would get. Or maybe you've seen the weather this can do to a better avoid and stay sheltered for as long as... Maybe it's hull. What would I rather lose here? I mean, I have... I have plenty of crew. I can afford to lose some crew. Yeah, let's go with option two. So it's going to be... Let me switch over. It's going to be Twilight Watch, Diplomacy +1, which doesn't get us anything. Delphians -1. And then we'll see paragraph 23.
The wind blows bitterly cold on the shore, so you wrap yourselves in as many layers of fur and cloth as you can before heading out. The icy stretch of land between you and the ruins is wide enough for several people to walk side by side. Still, the path ahead is treacherous, and a few unlucky souls plummet into the freezing shallows, quickly lost beneath the frigid surface. Others cannot stand the cold and succumb to hypothermia. Eventually, you stand in front of the giant doors, adorned with feather designs and hanging wide open.
Lose one crew, C24. Oh, sorry, I paused it. I don't know where I unpaused it. Give me 1 second to check. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I was just deciding if I wanted to look at the technology to see how I can save against losing crew. And it looks like if we want to do that, we'd have a 60% chance. So losing, we could gain an Argo fate to have a 60% chance to avoid losing the crew. One crew is kind of worth 2 Argo fate, as like weird as it is to look at it that way. I think I'm just gonna lose the crew. Fine. Back to the voiceover here. Paragraph 24.
While the temperature remains the same within the ruins, the lack of an icy wind chilling you to the bone is a marked improvement. The interior walls are similarly decorated with reliefs depicting feathers and feathery creatures, but none of it really makes sense to you. You wander through these halls built for giants, the light from your torches dancing on strange symbols on the walls. The deeper you go, the more techni you see, but not the kind you are used to. At first, there are bits and pieces discarded in a hurry, then fragments of devices that look older than time itself. Complex like a Daedalus machina, and yet so different. Sleeker, yet enormous. Eventually, you reach a room where half a ship lies, its bird-like shape so different from the triremes of mortals. It looks more like a vessel meant for flight than sailing. You find more rooms housing more ships, some in better condition than others. Yet, before you can marvel at this discovery, you hear voices further in. Many people have gathered in the last chamber, the widest of them all. The ships found there look the least damaged, and you wonder if they could still be used. But a more pressing matter is at hand. 3 groups are arguing. Among the Twilight Watch, you spot the renowned survivalist warrior, Axiothea, with her strange Zephos. She watches from the edge of the crowd, a stern arbiter.
These fanatics want to destroy those wonders,
one of the Twilight Watch says at the sight of you.
whereas we could use them for parts.
Why dismantle them when the ships could still be used? We could really fly to the sun,
answers a Delphian.
This is heresy. We should destroy those ships before Helios strikes us,
counters a Sun heir. Tensions keep rising.
Ooh, lots of text to read for me. Oh boy. If you have finished the What We Leave Behind hub, the ship reminds you of another. Let's see, I don't think we finished that. Adventures. No, we did not. And it is What We Left Behind, not What We Leave Behind. Yeah, I haven't done a single adventure in that. Okay. Option 1. Fly? These ships will never fly. And regardless, it would be too dangerous. They were not built for mortal coils, but their parts can still be salvaged. Something good can come out of these wrecks. But the Twilight Watch salvaged the ships for parts. Option 2. It would be too dangerous to use or salvage these giant ships. You still remember what happened in Vetus's shipyard. The only thing you know about this technology is that it leads to catastrophe. All missions to the sun failed. It is time to put those wrecks to rest once and for all. But the Sun Heirs destroy the ships. Sun Heirs diplomacy +1, Delphians diplomacy -1. Option 3. Those who built those ships failed and their time has passed. But their ambitions, they deserve to be realized. The gods are gone. Maybe the Delphians can make this miracle happen. Wouldn't it be hopeful to see those ships fly? Let the Delphians use the ships. Delphians diplomacy +1, Twilight Watch diplomacy -1. I think I'm going to make this purely based on diplomacy scoring here. And I'm probably going to go with option 2 just because I could use... I'm already at the max diplomacy for the Delphians, so it would be nice to be able to lose some diplomacy with them and get some of it back for the Sun Heirs. And I'm never going to really like the Sun Heir choices, but this one doesn't seem egregious. So let's go here. Oh, it's Twilight Watch that I am maxed out on still. So actually, in that case, maybe I'll do option 3 and I'll just swap to make Twilight Watch a little less good. So let's gain the diplomacy with the Delphians, lose one with the Twilight Watch, and we will let the Delphians use the ships.
It takes some convincing and threatening glares, but eventually the Twilight Watch and Sun Heirs leave. The Delphians set to work immediately, and you assist them in any way you can.
Each Argonaut tests Cunning of 10 or higher. If A2 is marked, add +3. All right, let's check if A2 is marked. Choice matrix. Ooh, it is marked. All right, because we supported the Twilight Watch members, Vetus in building the Ash Stream, helping to drive away the Sun Airs. Okay, cool. So we earned some trust with Vetus and the Twilight Watch, so this will be a little bit easier. Each Argonaut tests Cunning. We're going to add +3, so each Argonaut has to get 7 or higher and gain up to +2 fate to add up to +2. We gain a danger if you fail, and we want 3 to 4 successes. Well, I mean, I'd rather get that -1 Argo fate, but I think I just want to be able to mark that checkbox on the choice matrix there. All right. Let me go to our Argonauts page. Cunning 0, 0, 1, 2. Maybe we go first with Heraclides. Maybe let's have him gain 1 fate. So he only has to get, what, he would need a 7 or higher, -2, 5 or higher, -1, 4 or higher. When you need 4 or higher, that's a 2. All right, let's fate reroll. 4, all right, I'll take that. That's success. Next best would be Otis 0. Do something similar. Let's have him gain an Argo fate. So he needs a 5 or higher now. Yeah, that would make sense. 5 or higher. Roll die. That's a 10. That's 2 successes. Then let's do Circe Guard. Again, we'll do something similar, but she has +0, so she's going to gain 1 fate. She needs a 6 or higher. That's a 1. Let's fate reroll that. That's an 8. All right, so she succeeds. Now we don't really care for Aster. It's a 1. I'm not going to reroll that, but she does gain a danger for failing. We would gain an Argo knowledge, but that does nothing for us. Instead, we would just mark our choice matrix here. So, go to this. What did it say? E8? Yeah. E8 helped. Delphians, salvage. Oh my gosh. Salvage parts from flying ships. So they can hopefully craft one themselves. Regardless of the result, you wonder if that is how things are supposed to happen. Will the Delphians succeed where others have failed? Gain a paradox. Come on, I just lost a paradox. We're going back up to 3 paradox. Paragraph 28.
As things settle down, you take a look around the main chamber and notice a tall figure stepping out of the shadows. A thin, frail man dressed in rags. Without a word, the silent hermit disappears into a crack in the wall, barely large enough to fit a lean mortal. Nevertheless, you follow. He leads you to the deepest part of the ruins, where depictions of feathers are less numerous, occasionally replaced by carvings of the sun. There are no more ships or technology here, and it feels like you're journeying back in time. Somehow, you know this section of the ruins is older, better preserved, untouched, almost. The silent hermit eventually enters another big chamber.
Who goes here?
The booming demand echoes from a far corner. The light from your torches reveals a gray-skinned giant, much more lithe and graceful than the Titans or the Cyclopes.
We are the Argonauts.
You introduce yourselves. It doesn't seem to surprise the giant, who bows slowly in respect.
I am Tabaris, the last Hyperborean.
His voice sounds hoarse, as if it hasn't been used in years. The silent hermit sits down by his side on a piece of marble, as if it was the most natural thing in the world.
Your heads are full of questions.
He turns to the carving of a giant feathered creature in the back of the room, full of cracks and missing pieces. You don't know why, but this relief feels wrong, and it pains you to just look at it.
The party leader, what? The party leader gains a fractured affliction. Every other Argonaut gains 1 fate. All right, let's just roll to see who gets fractured. Damn. Excuse me. So that means, let's see, how far off are we from having to do another structural research? Because we get to do one today. All right, so I'll be able to lose this fractured affliction today, I think. Right, because that's what that one project allows me to do. Aeon completion. Yes, okay. All right, so it's not a big deal. Let's just roll to see who gets it. Lowest is yellow, that is Heraclides. Heraclides, you are our fractured poor soul. Note that down. Actually, I'll note it down just in here. I won't give you a sticky tab because you're going to lose it soon. Every other Argonaut gains a fate. Okay, fate. That's a lot of fate. Maybe I don't want to face the Hyper Time Oracle in the next timeline battle. We'll see.
We were powerful once. Our heads were full of questions too, and ideas, and dreams. Our hands turned our ideas into shapes, having ships so we could chase our dreams.
Tiberius stops suddenly, as if forgetting the next part of the story.
Then the curse came. No more rain. My people died.
He keeps silent for a few seconds, as if remembering those he lost.
Those that lived waged a terrible war.
What kind of war? Against whom?
Against each other. In the name of faith. Like some of you are doing now. I hid, and now I am the last one. Alone, with a head full of memories and no one to share them with.
He takes a shuddering breath.
One like you made the same mistakes we did. He reached for the sky. His head was also full of questions and ideas. His hands created wonderful things.
Do you mean Daedalus? Tiberius doesn't answer, but the silent hermit nods solemnly.
One tiny mistake.
Tiberius sighs.
He was smart, yes, but made it nevertheless. A mathematical error, so small yet so destructive. He pushed his feathered one too far, too fast, ruthless. Feathers burned.
He sighs.
It would have never worked. It never will.
Interesting. So they're saying that Daedalus made the mathematical error, and maybe they're just saying that he pushed his feathered one too far, too fast. So I guess they're just saying that maybe the mathematical error was saying that the pressure that he put on his son, not like something he did wrong with one of his own technologies, is at least how I interpret it. Gain 1 progress token. Let me do that. That's going to bump our progress from 6 to 7. Then the 0286 diplomacy paragraph will trigger at 6+ diplomacy, not 8+. Note it on your Argo sheet to remember. Sweet. That doesn't help us at all.
You ask Tiberius more questions, but he doesn't answer, as if he cannot hear you. The silent hermit eventually points at a long sarcophagus nearby, a casket fit for a giant and some. You open it with the help of a Titan. Inside is a beautiful blade with a red phoenix feather attached to the hilt. No, the blade is the feather.
Gain the Phoenix Zyphos card, Secret Dark 8, card 92. I was grabbing that while that paragraph was reading. Because I did see that in my text over here. We have the Phoenix Zyphos. It is a one-handed weapon, 2 attack dice, plus 3 precision, 1 white die per hit. It's unique. It has opening 2, it has fire 2, it has power reroll 1. We haven't seen power reroll in a weapon in a while, or at least I haven't. Maybe we could have crafted some that have it. Wound. After you finish resolving this attack, discard this weapon. If the Phoenix Zyphos is discarded for any reason, set it aside. It reappears in its wielder's hand at the start of their turn. So basically you can't, you only get 1 attack per round. Or 1 attack until your next turn, I guess is a better way of putting it. It's a very powerful weapon, but it also means you can't combo it with things like time skip, or if you get a bonus attack, you can't use your Phoenix Zyphos. So it's an interesting way to try to balance the power of the weapon. Okay. I was kind of hoping we were going to get a Returner Titan for this Adventure Hub, but it's a cool weapon to have. Maybe in one of the fights that we do where I'm like, we'll just not use some of our good stuff. Maybe we'll end up using the Phoenix Zyphos because we got it through an Adventure Hub.
You look at the peaceful Hyperborean giant, just sitting there in this dark and forgotten room. A living relic of the past.
There are other giants in the world,
You say, motioning to your Titan.
You have lost your people, but maybe you can find new ones to share memories with. Cyclopes. You just need to go outside.
Wasn't expecting that one to finish so soon. I was taking a drink. Remember who you sided with on the issue of Hyperborean Heaven ships earlier. Then decide... Oh, no. Just then... well, I'm kind of glad I didn't side with the Sun Heirs then, because I don't think I want the Hyperborean hanging out with the Sun Heirs. Yeah, I'm happy for the Hyperborean to go hang out with the Delphians. Go ahead and go to paragraph 31.
A hopeful look appears on Tabaris's face as he looks at you.
Do you think so?
You nod enthusiastically, and so does the silent hermit. With uncertain steps, Tabaris goes to the entrance of the ruins through passages you haven't been through before. He stops in front of the doors and cautiously looks outside, nervousness written all over his face. You go out and patiently wait for him to join you. He keeps looking at the sky as if expecting the sun to burn him, but still takes one step after another.
Thank you, Argonauts,
he says. A hint of a smile appears on his face before he leaves, slowly but surely heading south. The old priest is curious and thoughtful when you mention Tabaris.
He truly may be the last one, he says. We should be able to find other ruins like this Cosmodrome. Perhaps then we will learn more about the Hyperboreans.
You nod and watch the horizon as the Argo sails away.
Mark E9 and gain the Kakos implant card. Return to the voyage phase. The Kakos implant card. We've already looked at this one before when we were discovering the technology. I think we got this technology from an Inward Odyssey. This is like my least favorite of these cards. What was the technology was it from? The monomythological support cards. Because it You only get the benefit, well, I mean, the motivate one can be nice, but you only get the benefit of it if you don't attack for that Titan round. And I hate not attacking in a Titan round. So I avoid doing that, and we will probably not be using that card. You need to mark E9. Our Hyperborean friend, what was his name? Not Temenos. Tabaris. Tabaris want to go hang out with our Delphian homies. Cool. Return to the voyage phase. And we will do that. We have a structural research to do, which I already know which technology I'm taking for that. It's the one that will allow me to get rid of the fractured affliction. It's going to cost us a priest to do that. Great. We get Eschaton completion. Let me go and make sure our summon limit is updated. It is. And then we're going to go to cargo, lose a priest, and go to Argonauts, take off the fractured affliction from Heraclides. Cool. What else we got? Dreamwalker event. We'll gain a new Dreamwalker. Add, and then we will adjust that event. Add that 9 days from now. Day 79. Dreamwalker event. And then Abyss Watcher breeding. Oh boy. Titans. Add new Titan. Abyss Watcher. I think it should add you, or it should have you, like, you lose the Titan when you do, I don't know. Because I guess, I can't remember what I've done in the past. I guess just to lose a Dreamwalker, another Dreamwalker or something, but like, you get up to your max value before your breeding event resolves. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe it would make more sense to like lose the Dreamwalker Titan before the breeding event finishes. Maybe not lore-wise, though. Anyway, do we have all of our Cycle 2 Titans? Abyss Watcher. Oh, Firestarter, yep. And then War Keeper, yeah, okay. Cool. Go back to our timeline. And that's all we have for today. Nothing else on the tile, nothing else I want to do. Do I want to lose Argo Fate for any reason? No, I'm only at 3, I'm good. We don't need to worry about our loop end yet. Let's move on to the next day. We go to day 71. And we need to travel south here, right? Yes, south to tile 77, another Delphian tile. There we go. Boom, another Doom? Come on. I guess there's a whirlpool in the middle of this little tile. Okay. Go ahead and put that on our map. Starting to get into the glare zone. Put that up there. I should probably use, yeah, I'm definitely going to use some Argo Fate here to try to avoid this Doom gain. Need to roll a 6 or higher. That's a 6. No Doom for us. Okay, back on a roll with avoiding some of these negative effects. Yeah, exploration cards now. All right, we have an adversary activation. We're going to gain 5 Siren Shell resources. This is like my favorite card for this this like in-game week because I keep drawing it. I will allow this adversary activation to happen. I'll allow it. Draw another, go back to this view. There we go. Gain 4 Siren Shell resources and another adversary activation. Do I want that one to happen? Also, I'm kind of sick of all this Siren Shell. I think maybe I'm okay with this adversary activation happening too. Yeah, because even after this one, it would still take what? Well, 1, 2, 3 adversary activations for him to get onto the Argo space. So I think 2. I want to keep it at least 3 when I go into a battle, and assume I might have to activate the adversary twice during the battle. This is so crooked. Okay. Take these, shuffle them back in, just shuffle those bad boys up. And anything fun and adventurous happening today? We get the combat research. Cargo, no, technology, projects. This is probably where I want to do the Hypertime Oracle live study. What do I get from this? Oh, hell yeah. Times arrow. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Doing this one. Go into our macro view here to see all the things that we unlock. Let's look at the Echo Eaters. How was that in terms of focus? A little bit better there. We have the Echo Eaters. We have the Beholder Fists. We have the Paradont. Let me shift these over. I don't care about the Echo Eaters as much, but I do care about Times Arrow. So Paradont is unique. So we'll put that on the end there. Our Echo Eaters are 5 dice to attack, plus 2 precision, 1 red die per hit, opening X and repositioning X, where X is the number of dice you hit with. Commit. Asterisk. When you attack with this weapon while on a time anchor, you may consume it, remove it from the board to gain +1 red die, or +1 attack die. So max power roll of 6 reds, that's fun. A bit unfortunate that it doesn't leave any kind of break token or black or fire or something like that, something to capitalize on potential. But you could potentially get a ton of reposition X with this, which is fun to play around with, though I don't know if I've actually used the Echo Eaters. Then we have the Beholder Fists that are 2 dice to attack plus X, where X is equal to your fate, up to 6. When you attack with this, and then 1 black die per hit, +1 power. Opening 2, black 2, spiral 2. X is equal to your fate, up to 6. When you attack with this weapon while on a time anchor, gain +1 power. Pushback 1. Okay, so you don't want to use that pushback 1 in the first ability window, most likely, because that would presumably be moving off your time anchor in most cases. Crit miss, gain a fate. Okay. Opening 2, black 2 is nice. Spiral 2, nice. Like, I like that the Spiral 2 kind of combos well with the +X for the precision bonus, because if you have a high precision bonus, you're more likely to use the Spiral, and you kind of need to use it because you have high fate. Lower fate, you're less likely to use it. So that's a cool synergy right there. But again, I don't know that I've really actually used the Beholder Fists. Because I think at this point, they're like two black dice and a power. You probably have access to things that are stronger overall than that. Then we have Times Arrow, beautiful Times Arrow, attached to a ranged weapon. When you attack with that weapon while on a time anchor, gain opening 1, break 1, hope 1. We love that. It is gorgeous. It combos so well with something like the Devolver, or even things that are, I don't know, we have other ranged weapons, but the Devolver at this point is like our favorite ranged weapon. But getting another break, an opening, and a hope is awesome, especially because we're not, in a lot of cases, we don't have attachments for our weapons. Like our Atlantean Oscillator is the exception to that, where it's like a weapon attachment that we will pretty much always be using. I do not want to lose that attachment. It is awesome. It will continue to be great forever. But Times Arrow is an excellent thing that we can use now too, but only on ranged weapons. Then we have the Paradont, which is the upgrade to the Paradox card. I think that was the new, right? Yeah. It's 2 attack dice plus 1 precision, 1 black die per hit, plus an extra black die, plus an extra power. Unique, auto break 1, black 2, reposition 2, cumbersome, commit, full miss, place 2 black and or opening tokens in the Kratos pool. Pretty good. A pretty nice upgrade. Yeah, it's a pretty nice upgrade to the Paradox. It would be excellent if we got to lose cumbersome, because cumbersome I think is the thing that we don't like the most about Paradox. And there's a lot of gear, a lot more weapons in this cycle that have cumbersome compared to previous cycles. But yeah, still very good. Times Arrow, I will be crafting at least 1 of, maybe 2, depends on the cost and what gear I actually want to be using here. But let's take a look at that. Gear, cargo, gear. And what was this? This is the Hypertime Oracle live study, Times Arrow, 18. We have so much Siren Shell now. We're totally fine on Hyperborean Alloy. We have plenty of Frozen Ambrosia, Cloth Flesh. I think we have what, like 30 or 35. So let's just go ahead and craft 2 of these. Yeah, screw it. Why not? Let's do 2 of them. Oh, I can't even craft the Paradont either. Oh, someone shy on Razor Claw? Okay. Alright, go back to our timeline here. And that's it for today. Yeah, alright, let's check off day 72. We'll be wrapping up this video shortly as we're about to go into another combat encounter. I'll probably record that one. Maybe I'll do another Hypertime, or not Hypertime Oracle. Maybe I'll do this one as a Harpy fight. I don't know. What card do we need here? 76. Where are you? 76. Bam. Ooh, another Titan, another adventure hub. I thought there was more symbols than that. No, that's just it. Okay. Well, I like that. I like that we're getting a lot more adventure hub symbols. I feel like there was a lot of periods where we weren't getting really any adventure hubs. And it's nice that we're getting this section on camera as well. Love that. Go to our map. Put that there. We're traveling south onto it. We will get a Titan, although I think our Titan Stoa was full, right? Yeah, so we don't care about that Titan then. Let's gain our exploration cards here, right? Yeah, I'm ready to do that now. Helion, Holy, Adjudicatory. We are just, we're denounced with them, right? Denounced, yes. So we are going to have to lose a crew or a hull. Let's do hull, just because then I guess at least I unlock the, what's it called? I get the ability to use the engine nymph if I really need it for some reason. Which, I mean, honestly, can be very good. It could actually allow us to avoid using a frozen time at some point. Anything else we care about here? No. Okay. That comes out. Continue that pile. Gain a Titan. We are still in a Delphian space, so we also get a Rage. I already know I'm not going to get a Titan here. We're only going to get the Rage. Let's give it to anybody except Aster. Roll the dice, highest gets it. That is going to go to Heraclides. Gain you a Rage. Continue that pile. For Hyperborean Alloy. And we're going to lose an Argo Fate as well. So let's do that there. For Hyperborean Alloy, that ends that pile. Go to the next one. Another 4 Hyperborean Alloy. And that's the denounced effect, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay. Try to remember to shuffle on camera for some of these. Just don't feel like it. All right. Say that's good. And then we just have, oops, excuse me. And then we just have an adventure to do, right? Yeah. Oh, we're gonna an abandoned temple. Maybe I'll go out after that abandoned temple in this combat because I could use another priest or try to get another priest. I haven't really been taking advantage of those in the Dahaka fights. All right, let's just roll this and then we'll see what we need to do. I think that is the hub that we just finished. Right, that's of Wax and Promises. We could select Can't Go Back. Yeah, okay, so let's just do that then. So instead of getting a reroll, we'll just choose Can't Go Back. 1 through 5, Living Fossils. 6 through 10, Alluring Call. 1 through 5, Living Fossils it is. Voyage is not helping us with our damn Fated Nemos. I only have the one Fated Nemos and I cannot get a freaking node for it. Really, that's pissing me off, Robert. I discovered that meme too late last year, and just solid meme. Adventures, no. Argonauts, Voyage, Hero by Mistake. I don't really want Ass to retire this early. I just wanted you to get above I just wanted this to become your dominant Nemos. Voyage, no. Voyage, yes. Fall from Eden. 007. M007, that is for... is that Cycle 3 Nemos? Sorry. Yeah, it is. Take that off. I feel like I'm actually supposed to only unlock the ability after I do the Nemos breakthrough reading, but whatever. Actually, I'm not 100% sure on that. Then for you have nothing for Voyage. All right, let's go to our adventure. We need our voiceover page here. What hub is this? What do we say? Can't go back. And now I forget. Which adventure was it? Can't go back. It was Living Fossils.
It is unsettling, to say the least, to walk next to the frozen polis and see the people stuck inside. Not dead yet, nor truly living. Something in between. Lives stuck in time. An entire polis frozen in an instant. A group from the Twilight Watch carves black ice from the city. A rare and precious resource. They work quickly and effectively, mindful to not strike the frozen townsfolk. Alcibiades joins you as you look past the icy wall in front of you, at the people trapped within. They look like statues, unmoving and preserved for eternity. And yet, there is something eerie about them, about how realistically time froze the fear on their faces.
We have found a way.
Alcibiades whispers hesitantly.
We are ready to proceed. Just say the word.
You look at each other.
Will they survive if we unfreeze the polis?
You ask.
There is a high risk. Many will die.
Alcibiades concludes. And you look at the trapped people once more.
Many will die, but some could live.
All right, 2 options. Option 1, if there's even the slightest chance that some of these people will live, you have to take it, because this is worse than dying. Who knows how the mind reacts in this state? Are they conscious? Besides, they will stand no chance if a time front was to draw near. Unfreeze the polis. Delphians Diplomacy +1, Twilight Watch Diplomacy -1. Option 2, the risks are too high. Could you really sacrifice the lives of many only to save a few? their fate is not for you to decide. Some things are just better left untouched. Leave the polis as it is. Twilight Watch diplomacy +1, Delphians diplomacy -1. What is our standing with diplomacies here? We're at 10 with Delphians, 9 with Twilight Watch. So, I mean, technically it makes more sense to go with option 2. But I'm not going to metagame on this one. I'm going to pick option 1. I think option 1 makes more sense. If I was stuck in some, like, I don't know, I feel like I would prefer death to being just stuck in some frozen period of time. So give me option 1. Delphians are going to stay at 10. We're going to go to an 8 diplomacy with Twilight Watch.
Do it.
As soon as the words leave your lips, Alcibiades sets to work with the rest of the crew. You keep an eye on the Twilight Watch, who continue cutting black ice for a few moments more. Then, as if acknowledging your efforts to save the polis and its people, they pack up and leave without a word. Once everything is ready, Alcibiades gives the signal and the unfreezing process begins. While you understand none of it, you trust the master engineer. Slowly, the ice starts to melt, turning into puddles of dirty black water which cling to your ankles as you stride through them.
If Argo Fate is 5 or higher, see 16, otherwise see 17. We're at 3 Argo Fate right now, so we'll go to 17.
As soon as it's safe, you reach for the people trapped in the frozen polis, gently guiding their bodies to the ground. The first few thawed are nothing but frigid corpses devoid of life, but then one of you registers a pulse, a slight flutter under your fingers. A young boy is still alive. You immediately wrap him in blankets and rush him to the Argo for further treatment. Others soon follow, and by evening you have revived a dozen people.
We could have saved more,
says the head artificer responsible for the thawing.
if we took time to refine the process.
Though Delphi is a land locked in time,
The party leader says solemnly.
time is not a luxury we have. Look to the horizon. You see those black pillars? That's a time front forming. If we stayed here longer, we could have run into it. If we delayed, maybe we wouldn't be able to save anyone.
But there's a possibility we could have saved everyone.
She insists.
We often get caught in thinking what we could or should have done,
Says the old priest, joining you on the Acropolis deck.
and this place amplifies the feeling, for it allows us to cast the dice again. But life doesn't work that way. We make a choice and live with it. And sometimes we never learn if we made the right call. This is the burden of free will.
Gain a crew and gain a paradox. Ooh, gaining that paradox makes me real nervous. Do I have a way to avoid... All right, so I'm going from 5 crew to 6. Gain a paradox. Do I have a... I feel like I should have a... Why do I always switch up cargo and technology? I feel like when I want to go to one, I go to the other. Who knows? After how many hours of playing this game and I still do that? Save is what I want here. When you're about to lose crew, when you're about to gain doom, when you're about to gain paradox. Test diplomacy of 7 or higher, lower this. Okay, yeah, for sure. Let's see if we can avoid this. Diplomacy test. We're on a Delphian space, so we need a 5 or higher here. Come on. Let's go. Barely making it, it's still making it. No paradox gain for me. And then return to the voyage phase. That's it. That is going to leave us to doing our combat encounter next. I'll probably end up doing that one as a recorded fight. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that one as a Harpy or... Well, if I do a recorded fight for it, I should probably do another Harpy fight because I have done more Hypertime Oracle fights on camera this cycle than I have... Well, I think that I've just done more Hypertime Oracle fights in general. Let's compare the number of times I fought each one. Let's see, the Harpy I fought 1, 2, 3, no, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, fought the Hypertime Oracle 2 more times. All right, so we'll probably do a Harpy fight. Doing 3 Oracle fights in a row is kind of boring, even for me. Then after we do the next battle video, I'm unsure how I want to handle these adventuring videos, because like this story 3B could take a while. I assume maybe I'm about to find another chariot piece, like coming up on this tile over here. Oh shoot, I need to get my trireme back. I need to remember to do that. So that way I can explore ahead, because that is going to be super useful now. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll be able to get another, or at least see another chariot piece soon, because there are 3 other tiles with chariot pieces on them, but we don't care about 2 of them. There's only 1 more that we actually care about. At least for the time being, I'm going to play by the rules and look for the chariot piece that we actually need, because I think we're doing pretty good on timeline days. Although, I mean, we just hit day 72. So, I don't know. We'll see. If I get to a point where I'm concerned about time and we have found another chariot piece, then maybe we'll do the house rule that other people have suggested, where it doesn't matter what type of chariot piece you found, you're just looking for another chariot piece. But with that, we will end the video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Actually, I want to say a serious, for real, sincere thank you. Not that my other thank yous haven't been sincere. But I, like, the last few days, today is April 7th for me. There has been like a real uptick in terms of like the viewership and like amount of time people have spent watching these videos, which is like, it's genuinely, like, I appreciate it so much. When I started doing this, I really didn't think, I didn't know how much I was going to keep it going. I didn't know how much I was going to enjoy it. And I just kind of expected like maybe each of my videos will get a couple of views. And like, that's how it started off initially. And it's not like my videos are getting a ton of views, but like I don't even really care about the views. I care about like the watch time, just because like the watch time to me is an indicator that people actually enjoy watching this stuff. Anyway, it just means a lot to me. So like, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will, yeah, I don't know. Thank you. And I will see you in the next video. Is it going to be a double wave? Nope, just a single hand wave. Goodbye. You're great. Have a great day.